being said. They thought that you deserved it because you did that to more than one person.
Clearly, I did it to more than one person. Was I wrong in both those situations?
The second one, definitely. The first one, maybe not.
Both of them you was wrong in.
I mean,
In a battle rap, as a man, you're supposed to be like, yo, what happened is after? Yo, get out my face. You ruined those careers. Jones had
So hold on.
Okay. With all this promo for, and as you can hear, I was just watching Hollow the Don versus Matt Hoffa, the face-off. With all this promo for this battle, I'm gonna be completely honest, and just I like to be honest at all times. That's my number one rule. This is a battle I can't get with. This is a battle that I don't want to happen, nor, I mean, did I ever want to see it happen. The grudge factor of this is so heavy, and it's so, it's almost a little too real, that I don't think this needs to be in a battle setting. I don't think this needs to be in a setting where thousands and thousands of people are watching two people air out dirty laundry. Now I know Hollow and Math aren't going to do that because they're going to bring bars to the table, but let's be honest here. Let's be completely transparent. There's going to be way more personals in this battle, because that's what's going to be based upon. There's going to be, you said such and such, and you did such and such, and I can't believe you did X, Y, and Z. Why would you do that to this person? And blah, 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 blah. That's what we're going to hear on February 16th. So, I'm going to say my piece about this battle, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the card. Because, no disrespect to ARP, no disrespect to RB, Lawrence Shotza, no disrespect to anybody in a third party, I guess you can say, for this battle. But I think this issue between these two, they look like they were actually friends. And it's weird now to see these two really, going head to head with each other. So I can't advocate for this battle. I can't say that, oh, this is going to be an exciting battle, because as a battle rap fan personally, I want to hear bars. I don't really care if there's a narrative behind the matchup, as long as it's two, people who can really rap. I'm okay with it. I like battles like Iron Solomon and Chilla Jones and Daylight, and Rum Nitty versus Av. Where there's not necessarily a storyline, but the lyrical content in the battle is incredible. So, and I'm not saying that there's not going to be great lyrical content in this, because it is. I'm just not with the whole he say, she say, personal, haymaker, bar, personal. I feel like that's how this is going to be. I mean, if you take the grudge factor out of this, yeah, it looks great on paper. Math Hoffa with his great, with his bars and his stage presence and his crowd control, versus Hollow's freestyle ability and rebuttal ability, and his wordplay and his stage presence. This has the makings of being a classic, but do I think it's going to be a classic? It could be, but all for the wrong reasons. It's going to be a classic because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be exposed and brought to light that us people don't really need to know about. Like for example, J. Cole is a fantastic rapper, right? He's a fantastic artist. I don't need to know who he's married to. I don't need to know if he has kids, because that's his personal life. At the end of the day, we all deserve a little bit of privacy. And what I personally feel like is that this battle is on a very big stage. It's Pearly Gates 3. I mean, this is a big. Our RBE has had marquee event, back to back to back. So, I mean, this is going to be a big stage. So, the fact that this type of matchup is happening on a big stage where a lot of issues are going to get resolved, you can't just have a bar fest and be like, you know what, we're cool now. No, I don't think these two dudes are ever going to be cool. I don't. And you can call me copping out or not being a good battle rap analyst or whatever. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't want to see this battle. I feel like this issue could be resolved with two men sitting down and having a man-to-man conversation, or going around the corner and shooting a fair one. But it's in a battle situation with thousands of people that are going to be watching, so I can't advocate for this battle. I can't say, oh, I want to see this battle. I was happy at first. I was like, "What? I tweeted about it. You know, I said things like, "Wow, Hollow versus Math is actually going down. This is crazy." But as time went on, and I, figured out like what the really root of this, this grudge is, I don't want to see this battle anymore. I just want to see two people resolve their issue and get on with their lives. I just think this has gotten too personal, and that's all I'm going to really say about it. I hate to start off this prediction video not as jovial and happy as I usually am when it comes to these battle rap events, but this is just something that I can't get down with. And I mean, of course, I'm going to be watching the pay-per-view, but that's not that. I just want to see. Of course, I want to see what happens, but I'm not happy about this battle happening. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on to Ill Will versus Sirius Jones. This was supposed to be Young Ill versus Ill Will, the return of Young Ill, and I was very happy because Ice Pack's coming back. One of the best to ever do it. Young Ill was the man back in the day, man. He was the man to beat. And now what? What happened? Well, some issues with Averb and ARP, and I guess Young Ill didn't like the way Averb was treated, so that battle's not happening. Here comes Sirius Jones with about, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe, give or take, to prepare for this battle. First, before I get to the negative stuff, I want to say shout out to Sirius Jones for stepping in, because I know how difficult it is maybe to just jump in a battle on a whim with without a proper amount of time to prepare. So salute to you, sir. But I've never really been a big fan of Sirius Jones. And it's not it's nothing that he says or anything. He's just not a battler that I watch all the time. I've never really sat down and said, I want to see a Sirius Jones battle. Yeah, Sirius Jones has done a lot of things for the culture. Him and Mook will forever be a battle rap gem. Him and Jin, his performance versus Jin will be talked about for years to come, and even more years after that. But I've never sat down and really say, you know what, I want to watch a Sirius Jones battle. That's just not that's not my style. The last Sirius Jones battle I watched was him versus Jims. I mean, I know he's battled Disaster, Pat Stay, Sharon, all that, but there's nothing memorable that I can take away from those. So I don't know what else to say. So this is what I'll say. I think Ill Will has been the face of RBE for a while. I think he has been an RBE cornerstone. When people say brick by brick, you think of Jims, you think of Show Off, you think of Heavy Half, you think of Rosenberg Raw, you think of those guys. But I want to throw Ill Will in there. I think Ill Will has definitely been a part of the backbone of RBE. I think he is, of course, Ill Will has, he won UFF, he made his name in URL, but I think he has played a significant part in the rise of RBE. And he said on Champion he's going for the performance of the night. So, I mean, we haven't seen Sirius Jones in however many years. But now, I think we'll see. That's all I really can't say anything about this battle because it's really random. I didn't expect it to happen. No, I was never calling for this battle. So there's a lot of different ways that I can, go with this. So take it how you please. But I got Ill Will 2-1. I got Ill Will 2-1. I think with the return factor, I think Sirius Jones, they're going to show him some love, and I think he's going to get somewhat of a round out of it. But I think this is a clear win for Ill Will, in my opinion. Now the battle that I really want to see, and I think these two guys definitely deserve to be on this type of stage, Oops and Craig Lamar. Craig Lamar and Oops is going to be definitely a bar fest. First of all, I want to say, I want to send some positive energy and say that I'm very proud of Oops for being a politician, a black politician, and also still maintaining a career in battle rap. I think that's amazing. I think what he's doing is very commendable and should be really, really praised for. Craig Lamar has really been coming into his own. He, I think since this, I think the last time we saw him on RBE was versus Big Cannon. He has a classic versus JC. Him and JC was a classic. Very great back and forth. While I think Big Cannon beat Craig Lamar, Craig Lamar did not slack in that battle. So, and Oops may or may not have the best battle in RBE history against Daylight. With one of the most powerful third rounds I've ever heard. So this is going to be a bar for bar battle. This is the kind of matchups that I like, where it's not necessarily, like I said, there's not necessarily a narrative, but there's going to be a back and forth. If I have to give an edge to somebody, I'm gonna go ahead and give Oops, because while Oops has bars, he can definitely paint you a picture and tell you a story. And I think if he uses that to his advantage, he can definitely get a win over Craig Lamar. So I'm going to go Oops 2-1. Some on-site battles. The first ever on-site battle was Calico versus Big K. Or excuse me, Calico versus Ill Will. Now speaking of Calico, that just made me revert back. Calico versus Big K is happening on this card. Before we get to those on-site battles. This is going to be a very aggressive battle. Lots of street talk. Lots of interesting things that are going to be said in this battle. I think Big K's not going to watch this because he probably has me blocked on everything. But I have Calico 2-1. Because I think his momentum, I think he's going to carry his momentum from his last battle, which was against Ill Will, in that on-site street setting, which I hope that RBE continues to do this. Which, I mean, of course they are going to do two battles like this, but I want them to have a whole card like that. I think that Calico is going to take that momentum that he had from the Ill Will battle and turn it up a notch for Big K. I mean, people he keeps saying is like no one has ever seen Big K, get done bad like he's about to get done bad. So, and Calico doesn't necessarily have to. The great thing about Calico is that Calico doesn't really have to use wordplay to get his bars across. He said something versus Ill Will that was really stuck in my head because it was so simple, but I think there was probably some truth to it. He's like, I was sitting back smoking strains while he was training for the Olympics. Wow. That means he didn't have to really do anything different. He can be Calico and still, beat you. I think Calico is back to me. I think a motivated Calico is back. I think he is absolutely about to go on a tear. I mean, I still want to see him versus Twerk versus Rum Nitty. The long-awaited match between him and Charlie Clips. I still want to see that. There's a lot of things that Calico. I want to see him versus Disaster. Would love for that to happen. I want to see him on a traffic card against T-Top maybe. So I still think there's a couple of battles that I see Calico doing, and this is one of them. I still, like I said, I still got Calico 2-1. I think that he can be kind of a kryptonite to those punches that Big K be throwing. So. Yeah, and the last time we saw Big K was against Iron Solomon, and we all know how that went. I think Big K got clearly beaten by Iron Solomon. And Iron Solomon the week before had the week before battled JC on 3 weeks prep. That's insane. And then went. He basically beat 2 top tier talents in 1 month. Well, you can say JC versus him was a debatable, but he still came with 6 great rounds for 2 top tier opponents in the span of a month. That's incredible. So. Great job, Iron Solomon. But we're not going to talk about Iron Solomon. Like I said, Calico, Big K. Calico 2-1. On-site battles are happening. The return of Rosenberg Raw versus Mr. Mills. I like this in this setting. I think this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time for both of these guys to come back, and I think they got something to prove. And I think this would be a sleeper battle, but I think there's going to be a lot of high energy. I would love to see what Rosenberg Raw sounds like in 2019. Maybe he switched up some stuff. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Mr. Mills, I saw him versus Craig Lamar, and that Mills is back. That Mills versus JC. That Mills versus Big Cannon. That Mills is back, and I'm really excited. Other battlers on the card, we got, I think, Dallas Cash versus Remedy Loco, maybe. I saw Dizzy Spades is on the card. These 1SKs, man, I think it's a great. I think these most recent 1SKs, I mean, Say Smooth and Ice Cold and KD and Butter from the Block, I think these 1SKs are really helping, especially on these types of cards. I mean, the 1SK that happened on the Moot card, Spanish Harlem and Top 10, helped a lot for both of them. I think the 2 ones right after that, which was, I believe, like I said, Say Smooth and Ice Cold and KD and Butter from the Block, I think that helped. So these battles, I think they're gonna help these guys' careers, especially Remedy Loco, especially Dallas Cash and Dizzy Spades. Those are the guys that I'm gonna be watching. Especially Dizzy Spades. I think I saw him versus Zeus the God on Coliseum, and I was really impressed with what he was doing. So this is a good card. This is a great card. Again, aside from the Hollow to Dawn Math Hoffa situation, I think that this is going to be a great card. I think there's going to be a lot of, surprises. I think there's going to be a lot of dope performances, and I still think it's a great card, regardless of the main event. So, ARP, RBE. I had to sit in the chair for this one. ARP, I hope you enjoy that. I had to get a little mob boss on him, but if I can ask for one thing from this, to me, event can go two ways, and not the obvious ways. This event can have battles that stand by themselves and on their own, and not necessarily be just built around Hollow and Math, or it can be built around Hollow and Math, and it will actually suffer from that. So I hope that everybody that's on this card brings their absolute A game and they stick out, so that way this card doesn't just be, it's the Hollow and Math card. Same thing with the Merc and I didn't want it. I'm so glad that battles on the Merc and on the Verb and Mook card, like B-Dot and Swave, Pat Stay and Dating Myers. I'm glad that those battles happened. King Los and Head Ice. I'm glad that those battles happened because they stick out from the Verb and Mook card. I was really happy that those battles were able to stand alone and be great battles instead of something that was just part of a puzzle. I want every piece of this puzzle to mean something. So ARP, Shotzi, Lawrence, RBE, great card. Cannot wait to see it on pay-per-view. And I just want to say thank you, ARP, for putting me in your prediction blog for Rare Breeds. I didn't really get a chance to say thank you, but thank you, sir. Everybody was very my people on my end that are close to me and know that I'm very involved in this culture. Were very happy for me and actually got into battle rap because they saw me on there. So thank you. And Pearly Gates 3, get your pay-per-view, get your tickets if you're going to be in the New York area. And I had to be cool, calm, and collected for this one. I had to. There was a lot of seriousness happening in this, so I had to keep the same energy. So till next time, peace.